a different interpretation of the parable of the sower by Jesus, talking about the 15th Sunday Ordinary Time, and such as the Gospel of this day, taken from Matthew chapter 13, where he has several parables. And we have Jesus now as a teacher. And as a teacher, I call the second layer of Jesus. The first layer of Jesus is the man. It's the carpenter's son, the son of Mary and Joseph from the little town of Nazareth. Grows up like every other boy until he's a little older, and one day walks into the synagogue and gets people roused a little bit by what he says. But anyway, this young man, this 30-year-old man, begins his ministry and starts teaching. That's the second layer of Jesus. He's a preacher, a teacher, Rabbi. That's what people call him. And his favorite teaching method is parables, which we as Christians are somewhat familiar with. We've heard the word a long time, 1,000 times. And might get a bit bored with this. 1/3 of the Gospels is filled with parables. I was disappointed to learn that Jesus did not invent the parables. I wanted to attribute that to Jesus because he's like, I'm a fan of his, and he's my idol. If he's not offended by that word, but he knows what I mean. But there were some parables in the Old Testament in the before Jesus arrived on the scene, but he's the one who kind of perfected them for his teachings and used them with a lot of familiarity and what a frequency in his ministry. The parable it can take a simple reality. It can take something from nature, like here's the seed. Many of them taken from agriculture, because even though Jesus was not an agricultural worker, as far as we know, he was the son of a carpenter, and but the majority of people were farm laborers, and so Jesus used these metaphors when he was teaching them. According to Matthew, of course, everything is about the kingdom of heaven. That's what Matthew calls this thing that Jesus is founding, creating, launching. The kingdom of God, other people call it. Other people now call it the kingdom of Christ. Legionaries of Christ in my ex-religious congregation and its lay branch are called Regnum Christi, the kingdom of Christ, which was probably one of the few true things that Father Maciel said during his 80 years on earth. But so that was a good choice. It's the kingdom of Jesus. Okay, and that's what I'll talk about today. So there we go. Let's hear it. The sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some fell on the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky ground where it had little soil. It sprung up at once because the soil was not deep, and when the sun rose, it was scorched, and it withered for lack of roots. Some fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it. But some seed fell on rich soil and produced fruit, 100 or 60 or 30-fold. Whoever has ears ought to hear. So please listen to what I'm saying. Try to grasp what I'm saying, Jesus says. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the parable of Jesus, and I'm going to include now, it seems, according to Matthew, Jesus then explained this to his disciples, and he left it out there hanging in the air for the vast public to chew on. And in Matthew, there is this kind of mystery about the kingdom, and Jesus doesn't reveal it to all, or he only says some things about it. But then with his disciples, he explains things to them better. Now the disciples approached him and said, "Why do you speak to them in parables?" And Jesus said, because I want to. How about that? We're used to the same thing. So I said, because I want to, because it's my way. It's my way of teaching. And I do that for certain reasons, which you may or may not understand. But because you are my disciples and you're my friends, I'm going to explain it a little better. See if you can grasp this. Hear the parable of the sower, you who are a little closer to me. The seed sown on the path is the one who hears the word of the kingdom without understanding it. And the evil one comes and steals away what was sown in his heart. Now, Jesus here talks about the devil, the evil one, or the bad spirit that takes the good things out of our hearts. And I'm applying this to human friendship. So it's me, you, and our friendships. And how do we make friendships? And why do we have friends? And why do some friends last? And others are just acquaintances. I keep teaching people this. Don't be all those extroverts. Don't be calling everybody your friend. Oh, I have 2,000 friends on Facebook. No, you have 2,000 acquaintances on Facebook. They're not friends, at least that's my humble opinion. Okay, I may be getting here, you know, out of my depth, but this is me. So I'm talking about friends. Friendships are the ones who stick with you, who are important to you. They have a bond with you. They stick around. They don't leave you. They don't leave you on the street. They help you they pick you up when you're down, right? They may even correct you if they think you're wrong. They may steer you in the right direction. They'll give you good advice. They care about you. Okay. It seems to be a very rare commodity nowadays. So this is friendship. So this person doesn't understand friendship. First person. Then there's the person sown on the seed, friendship sown on rocky ground is the one who hears the friendship and receives it at once with joy. Oh, you're my greatest friend. Fantastic. Let's do things together. Let's go out. But he or she has no root and lasts only for a time. When some tribulation or persecution, crisis arrives, he or she immediately falls away. The seed friendship sown among thorns is the person who hears me, encounters me, touches base with me, but when worldly anxiety and the lure of riches, he's busy. He or she is busy. Don't have time. All this, sentimentality stuff. I just don't do sentimental. They don't realize that friendship is much deeper than sentimental. And it really has nothing to do with uh, falling in love or erotics or sex or anything like that, which we're maybe more familiar with. No, that's a whole new, right, whole new world. So he or she immediately falls away. The seed sown among thorns, friendship sown among thorns, is the one who hears about who meets my friendship. But when worldly anxiety, oh, there it goes. I've said this already. The lure of riches choke the world, choke the friendship, and it bears no fruit. But the seed sown in rich soil, hello, friends, is the one who hears the word, understands friendship, and we become great friends. And this friendship, as you know, is the greatest gift that we have as human beings. Animals can't be friends. They might be buddies. They might be, playmates or something. But they may have blood bonding, of course, naturally. But real friendship they can't have because that demands a lot of human qualities. affection, not only affection, but willpower, heart and understanding, comprehension, compassion, fidelity, strength, courage. Thank you, friends. Thank you for being with me during these long years. Not all friends are with us all the time, but when they're with us, they're the greatest thing that ever happened to us. So this is for you, friends, and you know who you are. And I'm privileged, proud, and happy to be your friend too. And if this were Jesus that were talking to you, wouldn't you be even happier? Because the kingdom is Jesus's kingdom, and we can be friends with him, just as we've been talking, just as we've been saying.